You know, I was coming on here. I was like, I ain't gonna even give you grief for coming up with a whole thing for the Black Male podcast.
Mm-hmm.
I was
You was
just
gonna talk
coming to
shit?
tease. No, I said I
Oh,
wasn't.
okay.
I said
Okay.
I wasn't because I said you already did one for us
Mm-hmm.
before.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, you know, like your skills have clearly grown from the Black Male one side, but I wasn't gonna give you grief.
Okay.
And then you came up. Ooh,
No,
look at
I'm not
you.
through. I'm not through. So come on, let's go with the topic. First, we're gonna go with the
Okay.
topic, and then I'm gonna show you what I do.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Okay.
That was just a tip of the iceberg.
I
You
mean,
know,
no, we shoot the shit initially
yeah,
before we go into the topic. We're going straight in the topic.
well, you can shoot the shit. Talk your shit.
Okay.
Then we got to go to the topic. Then I'm gonna show you what I could do.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Well, one of the things we were talking about before we started this was how.
Hi, everybody.
Oh, hey.
Just what we talking.
Like I was just like, but I mean,
You're
your
enamored.
intro was
Yes.
like. So when we were kids, and I feel like you know how when you're younger, you have your own view of how things went.
Mm-hmm.
So you have to tell me if I'm wrong.
Okay.
When we were kids, oh wow, that's a lot of bunnies.
Bunny Ranch.
When we were kids, my mom was like big into nurturing certain things, right? And both of my brothers were like they were really good artists. And I could not draw a straight line to save my life. And believe me, I agonized over that because I'm like, they were really good at it. How come we're related and I can't do shit? Like I can't do this shit, right? But I always thought that because growing up, they were always like, my mom was always like, everybody was gonna be engineers, right? All her kids were gonna be engineers, and then Katrina was supposed to be a doctor, but all her kids was gonna be engineers. Like Katrina had a choice. That's how they treat the youngest child.
The youngest. We tired of making you do something. So the youngest don't give a damn what you do.
Them a choice, but we didn't have no choice. We were all gonna be engineers. So I thought hard and fast that was what the rule was. Like I mean, it was like a part of rewrite and be an engineer. But turns out I was the only one who listened. They didn't listen to the pack that we apparently didn't make. I didn't know that.
I didn't make it. So.
Yeah. But it's good to see that I see it because I was looking at the Black Male podcast. I was like, it's good to see that you finally get to do your art again. Like, cause you don't, like you used to do it when airbrushing. You used to do it like I still have the big card you made me one time. Like you used to do it. Like you're really an artist and you don't practice it enough because you're Black and you like responsibility.
Yeah.
So
I like a paycheck. I like I like having this house.
Money is nice.
Yes. I like to eat.
But it's good to know that you're actually getting to practice your art. Like I want to tell you to go to sleep, but at the same time, this brings you joy. So enjoy.
It is what I do. I wake up and I have things on my head and I got to get out. I mean, all kind of art, music, all that stuff.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
I just...
Zodiac Productions. You don't think I remember?
Yeah, I thought you remember.
I remember Zodiac Production.
Hey, I just told somebody about that. When that little time, small stint, I did some music. I was rapping.
Yeah.
Out in these streets.
You were producing music too.
Yeah.
I remember. Like I said, all of that is art. And even though, and for the longest time, let me tell you, I swear, I used to agonize over the fact that I had no talent. None. And it's not true, by the way. Like I write. I write. And
But it wasn't the talent that you was focused on.
Yeah, because I was like the person who because y'all were artists to me. Like to me, I never saw that as art growing up. I saw that as just easy. It was always easy for me to use words. So because of the ease of it, I dismissed what I had. And I kept looking at all the things I didn't have. And so I went to poetry. And you remember when that stint of poetry years? And then I was like, poetry.
And I wrote poetry too. So
I don't know you wrote poetry. He probably was like, can you stand the, girl, your face is beautiful.
That picture of the dude I just showed you, half of the face.
That's this group we were part of. They'd be roasting people, and it was roasting them. People put pictures up and they just roast them. It's all in fun. It would hurt my feelings a little bit. I ain't gonna lie. Like I remember laughing on one of them, and somebody said, because this is like my cousin works for the EPA, right? And she ruins me on a daily fucking basis. So I don't have fur or anything like that, but I want fur accoutrements to look like it, right? So I have this little little jacket that has like a little thing. And he's like, I know you ain't got your family rug on your shoulder.
Oh. Let me see the family seal, that Lawton seal. With a L in it, like Laverne and stuff on the lapel or something.
And I was like, oh. You're right. I'm gonna shut up and back out of this.
I didn't sign up for this.
Yeah, I don't. Nope, I'm not gonna put my picture up. You ain't getting
Nope.
me together at
Mm.
all. I was like, because that was an easy one. I was like, you went straight for it.
Mm.
Okay. Oh, I'm happy now.
I'm glad I could bring you a little joy.
Oh, it did bring me joy. Tons of joy. I had tears in my eyes before we started this. All right. So one of the things we were talking about, and I think you were saying you want to talk about it. Are you going to share this with people? About the submissive, the terminology and the stuff like that, like discussion about, or are you still formulating
No,
it?
I'm still
You're
still kind of
okay.
formulating. Yeah,
All right, we're working on some things is what we're saying.
And this could be a whole nother show. So
yeah, you ain't tired.
No. I mean, in our podcast, we could bring that as a topic. Yeah.
Oh yeah, definitely. I would love to.
Yeah.
So I would love to. I think it's a good idea. So we were talking about that. There's things. There are other ones I want to do. I am tired. I'm lazy. I'm lazy. I'm not gonna lie to y'all because I want to do the one for females. I do want to do that, but when I start to do it, I don't want to do it in my house because I ain't got all this stuff.
Sorry. Well, I told you come over here, but you have to drive over here. Yeah.
I don't mind driving. I just don't want to do the rest.
Come over here and do it up in here.
My empty ass house, hello. Now you got now we have good acoustics. Yeah. No. Today is day 23 for my juice fast.
Okay, look at you. Look at you sticking with that thing.
Yeah. Even though my nieces, they're horrible people. And then my sister's a horrible person.
Tell them about when you had to escape from the house.
Yeah, they're horrible people. So I'm doing this juice fast. It's a spiritual journey. It's one of, I feel like, if I'm asking the universe or God or however you believe to provide me abundance, what am I willing to sacrifice, right? So that's the point of the juice fast. It's for enlightenment and the whole nine. The byproduct of that is everything looks delicious. So everything. So also, it's just a bad idea. I'm gonna not do this next year at the beginning of the year because it's a bad idea I always do it at the beginning of the years because Christmas isn't a big deal for me.
Yeah.
So Christmas, New Year's, birthdays. We have 4 birthdays within the span from Christmas is within 21 days. We have 4 birthdays. And I said 21, but it's less than that. It's like 21 days. It's like 4 birthdays from Christmas until then kind of stuff. And I'm like losing my mind because I'm like, this is stupid. Why do I do this? I need to pick like the summer or something like that to do this juice fast.
When you're trying to be slim and everything,
And I'm drinking smoothies. Them bitches are cold.
Yeah.
So I'm like freezing. This is just a bad idea all the way around.
Bad planning. That's all it is. Bad planning.
I do it. This is the 3rd year I've done this. I'm like, next year I promise I'm gonna do better. So I go
your lesson.
Finally, hopefully. Maybe that's the point of this juice fast, to be smarter for the next time. So my mom made 70 and we went to her house to the house on her birthday, on the actual day of her birthday. And my mom loves being around her kids and like is genuinely like she's genuinely happy to be around her kids. So I'm gonna come. But I wasn't going to come actually. Your sister guilt tripped me.
Oh, okay. That's what happened?
Yeah, absolutely. Because I wasn't gonna come because she's like, oh, we're gonna bring some crab, we're gonna have some broil, we have a shrimp boil, we're gonna have this, that, and the third. I'm like, no, I'm not. I'll see y'all next time. I'll come here on the weekend because it's like, and it's like, because I plan on cutting out meat and like I'm cutting out majority of like meat. I'm trying to do predominantly vegetarian anyway. Okay. So I was like, all right, cool, but I'm more pescatarian, vegetarian type thing, right? So it'll be a little fish, a little seafood, that kind of stuff. But most of the time vegetarian. So I'm like, this is perfect for future me. And I'm like, I'm afraid of backsliding. I'm really afraid of backsliding.
Walking into that meat in it.
And wake up with a shrimp hanging out your mouth. I can't even dream about eating food. I'm scared to eat food in my dream because I don't know if I'm gonna sleepwalk. You know how I used to have a water dream as a kid?
And pee, like you use the bathroom and all of a sudden.
I'm afraid to eat food. Yeah, then you wake up and it's like, oh.
Hide the sheets. Or put a towel up on it.
So I'm like afraid to fall asleep and dream about eating. I won't allow myself the permission to eat food. So I'm frazzled.
Mm.
Okay. So Katrina's like, well, I mean, if you want to miss your mom's 70th, she doesn't
Mm.
have much time. Like we all,
Mm.
our time is limited, and the only thing we
Mm.
have is each
And,
other.
and COVID happened. And people dying right, left.
Yes,
You know.
and my and I and our father has COVID
Mm.
because he decided to have a key party or something.
Mm.
I don't know what happened. So
Mm.
you know what a key party is. You don't
Oh,
know what a key party
okay.
is?
Oh,
That's what swingers do. They
oh
put their
shit! Oh
key.
yeah, yeah, yeah. I heard of it. Yeah, 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 yeah. Oh, Lawton, put your key over there.
But
The key go over there, Lawton.
luckily he's not sure. He's oh, text your father. He
Okay.
needs your number. His number. I forgot to do that. I said I was gonna do it, and I totally forgot. Um.
Oh, that's why he hit me up. He don't have my number.
No, he doesn't.
Okay.
Because I'm his favorite child.
No.
I'm just
Okay.
things you need to know.
I'm about to text him right now. You don't deserve my number.
Send him Michael and Katrina too.
Okay.
So they're fine. So she puts that guilt trip on me, and I go to the house,
Mhm.
and I'm sitting there, and like surrounded. I love being around all my nieces and nephews. I just do, right? So like any time with them is great. So all of a sudden, they come in, and I keep in mind Katrina's like, we're gonna wait to eat until this time, right? We're not gonna eat until later. So they come around, and as soon as they come in the house, they start pulling out donuts. And I'm like, wait, Katrina, what is this wait to eat? She said, I was going to wait to eat. Clearly, they didn't agree with that. So my niece, to the youngest one, sitting there with a whole donut in her hand, like bigger than her face. I think the donuts got bigger, right? Like that's how I feel. So it ain't even good donuts. It's Dunkin' Donuts. Those are trash donuts. Those trash. So I'm still like, this looks the best. And then my second to oldest niece comes, drapes her leg across me, and sits down with a thing of Doritos. You know how Doritos smell. And so I'm like, hey, can you get away from me with the Doritos? She goes, why, you want one? I mean, it's okay. Yeah. Oh, y'all are rotten children. Rotten. And then they start pulling out McDonald's and stuff like that. Rotten kids. That's what they are. Anyway, that's what happened. And then I left. After I said happy birthday, I left. I left though because I had to go to work. I didn't leave because it was that. I was over it by then because I'm like, they're rotten. You're not gonna. I'll have the last laugh when you're at my will reading, and I want to make sure I put it in my will. And this is why I leave you, Dunkin' Donuts. Sorry, y'all. I'm in a playful mood today, and it's bad because we have a not playful topic.
Yeah, I don't even know like what the topic came from. I mean, I
don't know. I'm about to give you the impetus.
Okay, thank you, please, because I was lost.
All right, do you have the title?
Yeah, I can put this. Yeah, I can.
Okay, I was going to say. So we'll talk about we're ready to go into the title. I mean, we're still silly, so it's going to be whatever. But it is what it is. It's not monolithic, man.
No, it's not.
Okay, this is what we is. Yes, this is what we is.
Is that?
Yes. All right. Do we hate who we are? Okay. Here's the impetus behind this. Right. You sent me a video. You remember the video you sent me?
I seen you so much stuff. So
you do send me a lot of bullshit.
Come on.
It was a video of a girl doing a makeup tutorial. You don't remember?
Yeah. I said you could use this. Yeah, you could use. Yeah. I got you. Yeah.
Yes, it was a video, and the girl had acne.
You should have told me that. I would have had it queued up so everybody could see it. But go ahead.
I don't want to shit on that girl.
All right.
Like, I mean, because like keep in mind, this is a touchy subject to talk about because people think when I talk about makeup or anything else that they think I'm just talking about makeup from that standpoint. And I've had a friend of mine cuss me clean out, and I'm like, bitch, I'm 10 toes. I ain't gonna back down. But this energy you giving me, you acting like you talking to a stranger. I'm your friend, right? But because they have such emotion about how they look and how sensitive people are about their own looks, that they refuse to even open their mind to the idea of the truth.
Okay.
Because this is not Nicole being right. This is just the truth. Makeup causes your face to have problems. So he sent me a video, and it was a girl. She had acne.
Bad.
Like here, up, everywhere, acne problems, right? And then she started putting on makeup. And she started putting on more makeup because even with the makeup on, you could still see the acne, right? And then after she put on all the makeup that she put on, her final touch was filtered.
Shellac.
No, after she shellacked everything
Yeah.
on her face,
Mm.
she filtered it,
Mm.
which didn't make no goddamn sense. That's like me putting on all my clothes because I'm cold, putting on a fur coat, and then wrapping it around a blanket around it. Like, you ain't gonna see nothing. There was no point. I could have just put the blanket
And just from the jump, you just
from
put
the
that, yeah.
jump. Like, it's just like we're getting to the like. I watched this, and keep in mind, this girl, like, I'm not saying blemishes, right?
No, she wasn't an ugly chick either. You could tell if she would have took care of the problem.
I mean, she was an ugly chick with the problem. She just has acne. That's just what it is. Like, people have acne. That's it. But
no, that wasn't acne. That was connect the dots, la la la.
Yeah, but you know why that was that? Because she put all the goddamn makeup on her face. Yeah. So here's the thing: like, you're harming yourself every time because you don't like the way you look, and then you keep doing it, which makes. What do you think that's gonna do? One pimple, you already covering it up. So now you got, like, she had a lot of pimples. So now you're to the point where you're covering up everything over and over again, and you're just creating this hell. You're creating the hell that you live in. You're just creating it every single time. So that's what was the impetus behind it. Because, and then from there, so I'm on Clubhouse.
Okay.
Right.
Yeah.
So I'm on Clubhouse, and I'm like active on Clubhouse. I don't want to be active, but I can't help it because people are saying shit, and I'm like, wait, no, like, no, wait.
You can't say that.
No, it's not that you can't say it, but it's toxic.
Okay.
So there was a young lady. She was in her 20s, and we were talking about relationships, right? And the conversation was women seeking out men for financial stability. Right?
Can I take a break in it? Let me break in
Go.
it. So yeah, because we got the impetus, so now I know the direction we're coming from.
Okay.
I knew nothing, and
well, you could have asked.
No, but we remember what always happened. We started when I asked stuff. We started talking. Like, no, we ain't talking.
But I want you prepared.
No, but yeah, whatever. Anyway, so we're gonna come back to this, and I'm going to show you what I could do.
Okay.
Now we're back. Now
okay. All right. Is that what we're doing?
Yeah. Listen, we got the title. You got the title. The title was there.
We know, tell them the why.
Yeah.
And then you
okay. Now we're into it.
That's nice. That's nice. Yeah. I like it. Good job.
Now let's go to Clubhouse.
Oh, Clubhouse. I mean, but like, it was a conversation, and it's like, I remember one time, because I've always been in, like, I've always said to you, being Black, but having to be Black in the fields that I've been in, where I've only been the only Black and sometimes the only female too, has been a very lonely place, period. Right? Because keep in mind, like, I'm serious, I'm the only female most of the times in the engineering department, or at least when I was in Louisiana, and I was the only Black the whole engineering college. Right? I remember, like, in my engineering college. So it was always lonely for me because it was like, the language that I speak with isn't the language of the people there.
Yeah, the code switch.
But I didn't know how to code switch at the time.
Okay.
So this is me being me, and they're like, "Oh, the ignorant girl," like, like, that's what it felt like. I'm not saying people were being mean deliberately, but it's also very evident when you're talking to people that y'all are speaking two different languages. Right? Like, and so for me, and I've never tried to hide this from people, like, where people go, "Oh my God, you're an engineer, you must be really, really smart." I mean, I'm smart, don't get me wrong, but it's not, I'm smart because I'm an engineer. I'm smart because I figured out how to learn this stuff. Because this is, I want to, let's be clear. Now, granted, I had a little leg up because we were home taught for a brief, like, my dad home taught us before we went to school. We went to school, then we came back, or whatever the case may be. So the way I think that was a good, strong foundation for us to get to certain levels in life. We didn't just, there are some people, and I'm not talking about Black or white people, I'm just talking about people in general, who believe that education starts when you send them to school. That definitely wasn't the family that we grew up in. So with that foundation, right? And then I went to public school, and sorry, Orleans Parish Public School ain't it. It's not. It is not it, to say the least, at all. So when I went to public school, I might have been the best amongst them, but that don't mean nothing.
They don't mean nothing when you're talking about a bigger platform.
Yeah. And now I'm at a college where I literally, one of my friends, this Greek guy, I already told this on the podcast before, his great grandfather, father, and him went to that college.
Okay. So they have old money, and the library is named after them.
No, but one of the other guys, one of the buildings is named after his great grandfather.
Okay.
But it's them kind of people.
Yeah.
And here, I'm from New Orleans, y'all. like, talk about kill your spirit to know that there are people who live like this, and then there's you who thought you were great.
It's like the pretty girl in a small town. They get up to LA and they're like, oh shit, I'm not,
kind of.
Yeah, I'm not the prettiest thing now. I'm not top dog.
So, I mean, and I wasn't trying to be top dog, but could I be top bill? Or could I be a part of the top? Well, I wasn't even a part of the top. It was very humbling to find out, and not for an ego standpoint, from a reality standpoint, to find out that everything I knew didn't matter, because this is a whole new world. This is a whole new language. And now I had to figure out, navigate this language. And people weren't willing to assist with it because I had a stank on me. I smelled of poverty. Like,
it might rub off.
we already gave to UNICEF.
I
do exactly. You got a nigga college fund.
You want to see my kid from Africa? I give a quarter a day. Piggy.
Oh my god. So it wasn't, like I said, Neftali. I give Neftali mad props because Neftali always saw me as a person. And then he was like, Nicole, you're not stupid. He's like, you just need to see it in a way
that relates to you.
That relates to me. And like, just that little nugget of information opened my whole world. Because then it was like, all right, well, I know this. I know this. How do I get this information, read this information, and like relate it? And so I would spend a lot of time looking very, for lack of a better word, black in those classes. Because I'd be like, so wait, so what you're telling me is, because I would raise my hand a lot. So what you're saying is this, and I would relate it to my life, right? I would relate it to something I knew in my life. And they'd be like, okay, yeah. And so I spent a lot of time doing that so I can figure out, okay, what does thermal velocity looks like? What is viscosity? What are these things, and how do I relate this, and how do I make this work for me so I can understand this stuff? And then one day I stopped doing that,
and because you just understood it. Yeah.
Yes.
You had the language at that point.
Yeah. And I was so happy. And so, but the code switch happened, and I didn't know it happened. And then what ended up happening is, when I went back home to what I knew, it wasn't what I knew anymore. Things changed. So I remember thinking to myself, in relation to, do we hate who we are? I remember thinking to myself that I felt like I had a place with no home.
Yeah.
Because these are my people, but I can't relate to them anymore. And these aren't my people, but I understand them a lot better than I understand what I look like. And it was just like a hard time to deal with. I mean, it's something I learned to deal with. You know, I'm not saying boohoo me, but I'm saying how many people experience that. Like, because here's the thing, if you're black and you come from an area, like I have a whole, but my story is my story, but it's not the only story like that. I know a lot of people, like in my circle, all the engineers I know who are black experience that.
Yeah.
Because they had to leave their home. Dr. Anderson, the one who was on the men's podcast, he from Mississippi.
Yeah. So he was worse than you.
Yes.
Yeah, he went back and it sounded like spit the tobacco out.
Anyway,
print them out. I mean, I can't do that without saying that though. That was a pivotal point of that movie for me.
That was the worst. That is the scary part.
It was scary.
If somebody ever tell me I have a pretty mouth, I'm just gonna pee. Y'all gonna be like, she's peeing. I'm like, I don't care.
Leave her alone.
Yeah. That's what I want. I want you to walk away. I want you to look at me and just go, oh, she's not worth it. Because I'm gonna pee. Because you're gonna have a pretty mouth. So it's those things, right? And it's like, all right, who do you become as a Black person? Do
Mhm.
you give up on your people,
Mhm.
or do you just join the ranks? Because
Mhm.
I mean, like, I've had people come to me and say, "Hey, you're not like them anymore."
Mhm.
Like,
Mhm.
the fucking audacity that
Mhm.
you said that to me, right? And so so I can only assume people like what's the dude who died from COVID after you went to the Ben Carson.
Ben Carson. No,
I,
Ben Carson ain't dead.
oh, he not.
It's
Oh, what's
not
the
Ben
other one?
Carson. What's that dude name? Not John Lewis. Oh, God dog
John
it.
Lewis is dead though,
Yeah,
but
John
not from
Lewis dead,
COVID.
but it's not John Lewis.
May he rest in peace.
Yeah.
Frat.
Uh,
But you know, the Black man.
Yeah, the Black Panther. Whatever. I'm not going to go through that.
It
Yeah,
wasn't Ben Carson.
it wasn't Ben Carson. Ben Carson's still alive.
Anyway, the Black guy who died, like the shoot, the judge, one who touched Anita Hill and got away with it.
Yeah, I'm not even messing with.
I can't think of
keep going. Keep going. Yeah, keep going.
The Black people that we have a tendency to call tokens, right? The sellouts.
But Ben Carson is a token, so he fits.
Yeah,
he fits.
Yeah,
Candace Owens fits.
Candace Owens, I put in a different.
Yeah.
Candace Owens, I put in a different category because she knows full
She
well
knows better. Okay, I got
eating.
you. Yeah, that's how she eats.
She's trying to eat.
That's how she got that $3 million she got.
Boom. Her and
the Hodge twins
dating,
also. They know what they're doing.
With the white lady who was dating Jimmy Walker.
I don't know.
But there are people who know full well and profit off ignorance. But there are people who've been told. I really believe people like Ben Carson, people like all the people who we call tokens.
Sheriff Clark. Yeah, Sheriff Clark. Yes, big time coon.
Like that, man.
Big time coon.
People like him. I think they've been approached at some point and told, "Hey, you can worry about them." Or you can join us.
Come us. It's nice over here.
Look and it's nice over here because it happened to me, and I'm like, I wasn't even like I was an entry level engineer. It wasn't even like I was high level management, whatever the case would be. And that was the first time somebody did it. They've said it multiple times, right? And I'd be doing real well if I sold y'all out. I just want y'all to know I'm tired of y'all niggas. Y'all niggas stop me from being great. All right. So, but you have to, like, there's this decision that we have to give up. And then you start to hate. You start to justify what your actions are. Like Sheriff Clark.
Like Sheriff Clark.
You start to justify their animals. This, that, da. Like, you start to justify these things. And
you don't see them as people anymore.
Yeah. Well, you don't see them as people because that makes you better for what your actions have been. Like in that story I told you about the girl. Like, we do stuff all the time. And this is why I ask this question, do we hate who we are? Because we have these actions. We do these things that imply this to emulate something for the world to see that's not really there. Like, so
emulate whiteness a lot of times.
Emulate whiteness, emulate status.
Yeah,
the people who sit there and buy all this fancy stuff, but they ain't got a pot to piss in. Like, do you hate yourself? Because to me, that implies that you don't like who you are. Because who you are should be enough. I should be able to come to you and say, look, me, I drive a car that got probably like 5 dents in it. Like, good sized dents, right? Because people done hit me and I'm like, okay, well, that's it. That's the car. I drive it. And people are like, well, this looks bad for you. How does it look bad for me? I'm fine.
I'm getting where I gotta go. And once I get to work, I do my business, get my money, go back home.
Yes. So at what point do I mean, like, and I live in reality. Me having this car doesn't mean I'm no better or no worse than you having your SUV, your whatever, your fast car, your whatever. Don't make you no better, no worse. It just make me not have a car note. And I'm okay with that.
A significant amount of money card, something that I could stay in. Rent.
I would sleep in that car if I had this. Somebody, I saw a Suburban, and I was like, because I was like, all right, I'm not short, but I'm not tall either. I'm in the tall-ish spot for a female, right? Tall-ish. And so my car is a sedan.
Yes, sedan.
So depending on the city, fun fact, depending on the city and state where you live, the laws for sidewalks are different, right? So in Baltimore, the laws for sidewalks are higher. Sidewalk height is higher. So when I get out the car, I have to like roll out.
Yeah.
No, it's like, because you're like, you know how normally you just need to
put your feet down.
Put your foot down. Like it's literally in line with where my foot is.
Yeah, it's in line with the door, with the
it's like a good squat.
Yeah.
I feel like a good squat, and I'm uncomfortable. I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna give me an SUV. I looked that stuff up. I'm like, how much a month? The devil. The devil. Keep that. I'm not gonna do it. And I have no problem having conversations with people about it. And they were like, well, you're gonna look like a buster. I'm just gonna look like your buster then. What I'm not gonna
with money in the bank. With the money in the bank. Yes. So it don't matter what you think.
But this young lady, to me, this is why I didn't want to put her on there. Okay. To me, the harm that she places on herself. And I say that we can talk about alcohol. We can talk about the effects of alcohol. Look at him. We can talk about the effects of alcohol on people. It's harmful, but let's give it 100. It's $1. It's not good for you.
No, it's not.
It's not good for you. And done. I'm not talking about moderation. Because the real term of moderation, not the Elsie term of moderation. Not our mother's term of moderation.
Not mama term of moderation. Yes.
We're talking about the real term of moderation. I'm not saying wearing makeup every now and again is not. Do you live your best life? I'm not saying have a drink every now and again is not. Do you live your best life? But the everyday effect of it is harmful. That's it. I'm not saying it because I'm not saying it. Like I've done all kind of shit that was harmful to myself. I've dated harmful people. I've done all kind of shit. But at the end of the day, I had to look in the mirror and said, bitch, you knew that was wrong.
And you got what you got. So
yeah, but I like to believe before we get to the point where you got what you got, i.e. craters on your face because your face is finally just like affected itself. And so eventually what happens with pimples is that your pimples decide that your face decides you stop giving a fuck. So it stopped giving a fuck. So it blows up and then goes
back in itself.
And then turns into
trying to escape your shit.
Yeah, it just turns really.
You don't love me. You don't love me. You don't love me.
You don't care. I don't care. That's it. And it turns into that kind of stuff. Or with alcohol, where you're sitting here on dialysis. I was talking to somebody who I did something for. This stranger I did something for, right? I mean Facebook. I know him from Facebook, but that's it. We don't know in person, right?
Okay.
So he's
what
virtually.
What the hell is you doing those strangers?
No, on Facebook.
OnlyFans? What the hell?
No, OnlyFans for me. But it was on Facebook. I know him from Facebook, and he was saying something about something, and I did it for him because I was like, it wasn't nothing for me to do. Okay. And he was like, I legit love you for that. And then he was explaining the fact that he wasn't saying I love you like I love you. Like I'm like, no. I said, for me, you don't have to explain it. I love a lot of people. I love people so hard. There are people watching me. I love y'all so much. I'm trying to tell y'all stuff, even though you don't want to hear it.
You don't want to hear it. Yeah. It's out of a loving place.
Yes. And so keep in mind, I could all be wrong. But am I wrong on this topic though? No. Am I wrong on this?
If you do the research, I mean, and that's what people need to start doing. That's why I said this year I'm in a place of trying to figure out the whys of everything, right? Asking the question of everything, why this, why we do this, why do black people do what they do for this reason or that reason, and calling it out. So, everybody needs to do their own research is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, but I'm going to caution against research as far as because when we research stuff, like let's do traditional research. Let's not do that Google search research. Let's not do that. Let's do traditional research like we used to do back in the day when there was actual valuable sources. Because here's the thing: I'm not trying to prove I'm right. I don't walk into a discussion saying I'm right. I walk into a discussion saying, "Here's my opinion.
Here's my part. Now tell me yours," and we're gonna.
Yeah.
People can't do that though. They cannot do that these days. Right. Yeah, they want to be right. Yes. They want to be right all the time. And it's like, okay, why are you so amped up about what you're talking about? Why why are you attacking me? I had to tell this female this the other day. What, I don't know you, you don't know me. We're exchanging ideas. I'm not being disrespectful to you, so why are you, attacking me, trying to shame me for my viewpoint?
What'd she say?
I can't remember.
Did she take more offense?
She kind of went backwards. She backed down a little bit. Good. Then we kept conversation. Then she went back to it, and I'm like, okay, good night.
She's triggered.
I'm like, good night.
Yeah, but I am starting to see, and maybe it's because I'm changing. Like, I appreciate this podcast because this podcast has exposed me to way more different people. Like y'all, I appreciate because not in like there's anything wrong with y'all, but.
She's saying y'all suck. That's what you're trying to say. Y'all suck.
No, but what I'm saying is I have a circle, and my circle creates my bias, right? Because I mean, if you're hanging out with people, they're gonna be like-minded people and whatever, and there's no challenging thoughts then, right? And so like the polyamory group, I met so many cool people from the polyamory group, and I learned that even in other veins of different topics, polyamory is everywhere.
It's everywhere. But you was closed-minded to it, right? You just, that don't happen.
Nope.
And that was last year. Part of last year was trying to expose people to bigger things, because every time I talk to people, because I talk to everybody, just so everybody know, I talk to everybody. I don't care if we have. Okay, you about to. Call. Anyway, I'm not talking about females, and I'm not gonna be a hoe this year. I told you that already. No hoes this year. Anyway, like I said, I talk to everybody. So when people talk to me, we have debates about stuff. I have a broad knowledge of what I'm talking about, because I don't just stick into one place. Like mama used to tell me about, well, if you go to church and that. Well, okay, Jesus didn't go Jesus wasn't in nobody's church. Jesus was doing ministry out in the street. So I'm trying to be Christ-like. This is off topic a little bit, but it's still in vain with it, because you have to meet people where they are. And that's what I do. I do that very well. I meet people where they are. We might not have the same viewpoints, but we can sit there and talk, as long as we're being cordial with each other. We can talk about anything, and I might come away with something. You might come away with something.
Yeah, I understand my limitations. Like I understand. Like I told my brother, like I understand me enough to understand what can get my way of being that. Right. And it's my job to understand those things, so I can not control it, but understand my reaction to people in certain veins, right? Like, because I remember there used to be, like, because of this podcast, there was a time, like, because of that conversation with Khalil and the whole thing.
Yeah,
I've had conversations since then with that were equally as
offensive, and you were able to,
understand it.
Yeah, you was able to, look at it from a different light.
Also, look at it from the perspective of ask myself, hey, maybe there's more to this statement, right? Like I like there'll be people who are talking to me, and like the one thing I can't stand, y'all, is when I get a call or a text from somebody saying, "Hey, stranger, you can't call nobody or text nobody."
I don't know this number.
Well, no, not that. I hate that too.
Okay.
But I don't respond to them.
Okay.
If I don't know the number. I'm talking about the people who I do know and whatever, but phones work both ways.
Yeah.
Like, and for me, I remember this happened recently, and I was like, my initial response is just not to respond to this person ever again in life. And I had to sit there and ask myself, Nicole, why do you? Because I felt visceral, like it was like annoyance, and I was like, why do you feel that way? And then I had to unpack that and say, well, Nicole, you know why you feel that way, because in the past, people had unreasonable expectations of you
when they did that, when they hit you up.
Yeah, and I met those expectations, and I don't want to get sucked into that being that person again of meeting these people's expectations for no reason. Because when you do that to that kind of way, you're always trying to guess their actions, and you stop thinking about you and start thinking about them. It's way too hard, too much. So I had to think about that, and then I had to sit there and say, hey, wait, maybe he's not doing that.
Yeah,
maybe let me just let him know that, hey, to me, this is what this comes off as. Is this what you intended? If not, I'm sorry, but this is how it comes across. I'm like, and to me, communication and interaction with each other is a gift.
Yeah.
So I don't think anything bad if you don't reach out to me. I don't think anything if you don't reach out to me, but good things. And so it ends up being like the one guy, he was like, that's not what I intended that to sound off, but I heard it. I played it again. And he said, I see how it sounds that way. And he's like, I'm sorry about that. That's not what I intended.
Give somebody a chance to defend their position and explain what's going on.
Yeah. And then, like, if it wasn't for that big shit that happened, like, we have these big moments, these big arguments, and sometimes they need to happen so you can look in the mirror and ask yourself hard questions, but also so you can grow from it.
Yeah.
And if it wasn't for that whole thing with Khalil and this whole podcast and the whole night, I wouldn't have gotten to this point where I'm actually trying to understand more instead of sitting in hurt or hurt feelings or past or whatever. So
see, what we don't understand as people, right? We don't understand the fact that the way you view the world, the way you view things, the way you your intellect about certain things, the way you process certain things, it's not the way that person is talking to you to process. We're not on the same level. So anyway, I got a text from my dad. I was messing with him about losing his phone and not having my number. Anyway,
except his favorite daughter.
Yeah, whatever. So anyway, we don't realize that this is not the norm. The way we think is not the norm.
Yeah,
you have so many people. You got billions of people in this world that have
different ways.
Yeah, they live different ways, have different viewpoints. So we cannot be mad at that person for having the viewpoint they have, because it goes back to however they were raised, what kind of environment they live in, and a list of other stuff that that we could be here forever talking about.
Yeah,
but we have to get out of
that vein. You have to like to bring it back to this. And on that vein, there are a lot of people who. The reason why I never go out, like even now when I'm around people who don't look like me, who come from different socioeconomic standpoint, the reason why I make sure they understand that I grew up in poverty is because I'm not ashamed of where I grew up.
Yeah, you're not trying to hide it and try to act like you somebody you're not.
No, because that kind of stuff is what that creates this hate that I'm talking about. This I'm hiding myself. I'm trying to be this. I'm trying to post this. I'm trying to show all of these things and not really show who you are. And because at the end of the day, that's it. That's all you got, who you really are. And if you keep trying to show the world something else and something different, first off, who the fuck are they?
Yeah.
Who like who are they that they deserve a lie from you? You have to pull back and you have to start understanding that you have to start understanding that your actions are indicative of how you feel about yourself, right? Like you have to take the proper care for that. But to take the proper care, you have to understand that these things lead to this, right? And I wonder if my friend, because I don't think who cares for me anymore. And that's fine. I wish her well. We still Facebook friends. Like I think her grandmother died, and I sent her a note. Like I don't have any ill will towards her, but I'm not gonna lie to you. Yeah. And that's the thing. I love you so much that you can hate. There's so many people who hate me in this world, but they can't say that I did not look out for them, because I'm not gonna tell you what you want to hear.
Yeah. And we have to start respecting that. We have to start respecting people that tell us the hard, ugly truths.
I mean, even if it, like, I agree with you. Even if it comes from, like, even if they're being malicious, a truth is a truth is a truth.
Yeah.
Like, if it, like, it's not even that a hit dog hollers, because sometimes we say stuff and it's just hurtful. So just because it hit don't mean it's truthful. It just mean that person's well crafted in their words. That shit hurts.
Yeah.
But you have to actually.
They got that damn curveball on that thing. Where did they came from?
Oh no.
Hit me in the ribs.
But we have to get to a point where we really, and not for me, I don't need anybody to acknowledge, like, and the easiest part is to talk about, like, the easiest thing is when I talk about filters, because it's my favorite go-to. But when I say filters, I'm not talking about your phone coming up with filters. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about the filters we place on ourselves, like the status of car, like getting fat stuck out your stomach, like those kind of things. I'm talking about, when I say filters, I'm talking about everything that creates a lie, getting the fat sucked out your stomach to make you seem like you fit, but you still fat.
Or
you just relocated the fat.
Or acting like you lost it. You know, they got some people like, oh yeah, hard work pays off, and you see them on.
Oh yeah, that's what I mean.
Yeah,
that's all that is a filter. When you're sitting here acting like you're fit, the fat just in the trash can. You still fat though. Make no mistake. On the inside, your arteries still clogged. Your carotid arteries, and not just that, you made it worse because now you've changed the chemical balance of your body. Like, and I'm not saying you're fat because I'm saying it from a negative standpoint. I'm saying it from a realistic standpoint. Would you suck out fat? I'm not saying that to hurt people's feelings. I'm just saying, if this is what you're doing, you're not taking care of the problem. The problem is you need to work on your eating. You need to work on exercise so you don't have to suck out fat out of your body, and you don't have to change your chemical compound. But there's money. We're sitting here lying to ourselves about money. We're putting stuff on credit every which way. Credit. And you don't have nothing to show for it but a bunch of debt. That's it. You're working. Like, understand, there are people in this world, and I don't know if the people are on this line that hear me, There are people in this world who get their paycheck and don't even know what their paychecks like. Don't know when their paycheck hit their bank account or nothing because they don't need that money. They've been paying their bills from months ago.
Yeah.
From money that they received months, maybe years ago. I'm looking at the comments. Melissa says, I think it depends from where someone's heart is coming from when people say it like it is to someone else. I mean, Melissa, I'm not going to disagree. Delivery does matter and intention matters, but just not to me.
But the reason why I don't believe delivery matters because how do I know how you
we place a lot of stuff on people that maybe they didn't do.
They might not know how they come off. They are being their true authentic selves, and it might seem a certain way to you. Like it might seem harsh or brash or whatever to you, but that's just that person's personality. So we put up walls when we should be listening rather than trying to assume things. Yeah,
I agree. But let me. So my thing is, I try to always think the worst case scenario. Well, Melissa, explain what you mean by delivery. You don't mean about delivery. What do you mean?
About the delivery.
I think worst case scenario, even if their heart is in the worst place ever in life, even if they hate me and I want you to die tomorrow, Nicole, you selfish bitch. I think worst case scenario, what they say was wrong?
It true? Yeah, you ask yourself. That's what I always do. Ask myself, is there truth to that? Is it true first? If there's no truth to that, I'm gonna call him a liar. You a fucking liar. You're lying, and that's it. And that's it.
Call you a liar. I'd be like, all right.
Okay. Yeah, whatever. Or that's your opinion, whatever. And I don't validate it, and I don't invalidate it. At that point, it's like, all right, and you take it with a grain of salt and you keep it moving.
Oh, you're accused of being to the point. Fuck them. Like fuck them. I like to the point people. Melissa, you can talk to me. I like to. I don't.
No, you're supposed to.
That's because they already okay. So Melissa, understand that multiple kind of people in this world, right? Multiple kind. You in a safe space because he likes to know what the reality is.
Yeah.
All right. There are people who lie to themselves. So if they're lying to themselves, you can't come with the truth. Who the fuck are you?
If you come with the truth, you already the enemy. You're the enemy. That's it.
Yes. Yeah. Look, I remember. I kid you not. All right. So I worked at this job, and every day at this job, this lady was getting abused verbally by these people. Right? They would come in. It was uncomfortable for me. And normally I just be like, well, because my thing is this: it's not my job to advocate for you if you're an adult.
If you're not doing it for yourself, yeah.
Well, if you're a child, I'll do that, whatever.
Yeah.
But it's not my job if you're an adult because it's like I feel like I'm taking your learned lesson away from you, right? So I don't advocate. But this was happening so much and it was hurting so bad.
Like you was getting hit every time it happened. You felt like they was attacking you.
Yes. You ever look behind you like nobody else can say
yeah. Stop. Nobody else hears it or just me? Am I crazy?
Just me?
Am I crazy?
I was like, that hurt real bad. So finally one day I actually spoke with her, right? And I was like, hey, this is your situation. This is this. You don't have to put up with this. There are laws. Da, 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 da. You know, she went and talked to them about me.
Oh shit. Oh wow. You the problem.
I'm the problem.
You the problem. Yeah. Little black girl, who are you?
Exactly. I say, and so that also I lost you. That plug came out. I mean, like in my mind, I felt like it had to do with the fact that she thought I was looking down on her.
Yeah. Because a lot of government told poor white people.
Well, I don't know if that's the reason.
It's conditioning.
I don't know, but I don't know what the reason why. But I just know what I was telling her was the truth, and she tried to kill the messenger. And so, from that point on, like, because you dealing with look,
mind your business.
I've been in the game for a very long time.
Mind your business. Mind your business.
Shut up.
Shut the hell up. Mind your business.
I've been in the game for a very long time, so I know how to like just because I don't participate in fuckery don't mean I ain't got a PhD in fuckery. I just don't participate in it. So when it came back to me and they tried to have a meeting, I started tearing up
You did the white. When you became Karen.
I started tearing up. I'm like, she came and she talked to me about that. And I was just, I don't know.
I'm just a black girl.
And they turned on her so quick because she was already on the out.
You're so stupid.
She only had one ally. And then she tried to throw me under
the bus
to be the person
because she was trying to get clout. She was trying to clout with everybody else. Okay.
Yes. Yes. And so, like, it just didn't work, but it did teach me a valuable lesson. It actually supported the lesson. I thought it's not my job to advocate. It's not my job to instigate either situations, but I don't have to advocate for people because everybody has to learn a lesson they got to learn.
That's sort of like we were talking about the protection of women, black women, right? That's sort of like in that line with me. I can't speak for no other man, right? But with me, I've been in situations sort of like that. And you cannot put yourself in harm's way in order to advocate for somebody else that has a choice to be there or not.
Yeah.
So, I mean.
Well, I mean, so I had a conversation, and then I'll tell you, I realized with our cousin, I realized I was very wrong in that conversation because it was a situation. It was a very sad story, right? Girl had I said girl, but she was adult, in her 30s, I think, got shot in the head by her paramour, her boyfriend. They have kids, they have 3 or 4 kids, and whatever. Got shot in the head.
Yeah,
and he drove the kids over by her parents' house and like went back home to watch TV and stuff like that.
After she shot in the head?
Very New Orleans story.
Okay.
Very New Orleans story. And I was saying, my cousin was saying that she didn't have anywhere to go. She didn't have this. And her parents was like, they tried to give the man the benefit of the doubt. And I know that.
Don't trip. Just go ahead and say what you gotta say. Don't be surprised at my greatness right here. Don't be surprised at me.
Oh my God.
I got this over here.
Oh Lord. I know one of my weaknesses, right, is weakness.
Yeah. Yeah, when you see weakness in other people.
Or even me.
Okay.
Like, so I don't like to show it. I don't I only know strength. So when I deal with situations, I come hard, I come strong in a situation, which may come across hard for people, but I don't know how to, I didn't know how to do anything any other way back then.
Yeah.
Because back then is what was needed. Right. So, but sometimes I forget and my response goes back to, hey, this will solve her problem. Strength. Right. I'm like, because my concern is like when you're like what he did was horrible.
Yeah.
Like him. That I'm not holding her responsible for what he did.
No. That was totally his actions. Yeah.
What I said was she had kids, and at some point, I understand that she was afraid for herself, but she had to take care of kids because now her kids don't have any parents.
Yeah. Now she's not here. Yeah.
Yeah. And so it was back and forth with me and my cousin. My cousin's not like our cousin's not like she's very opinionated too, but she wasn't offended by what I was saying. Because she understood, I didn't understand. So she kept explaining to me until I understood that I'm speaking from a privileged place.
Yeah. Okay.
And so I don't know what it's like when you ain't got nowhere to go.
You've never been the victim of that situation.
No.
Yeah.
And so at that point, I had to apologize because I was like, you know what? I say this because I've always thought when I said to people, I come from poverty, that I came from the lowest that I could possibly be.
There's lower than you.
Exactly.
There's lower than you.
I don't think about that.
Yeah.
And so I'm saying that for me, it reminds me to say that to y'all. There's worse. Whatever experience you've experienced in life, there's always worse than that. Always worse than that. There's 7 levels of hell below what you're doing.
That's the point I was trying to make when I got the whole interaction, the debate, with a female. The term, talking about protection, when black women being protected, right? So the saying came from Malcolm X, the most unappreciated, disrespected, unprotected, whatever, is the black woman, right? So this female told me, she quoted it, but she said human on earth, right?
No, they didn't say human.
No, that's what she said. Okay. And that was my pushback, right? I'm like, okay, I agree with you saying, but the pushback I'm gonna give you, that's not true. I mean, what you're saying is not true. It's not really true. Would you trade places with somebody over in Saudi, with a woman over in Saudi, with a woman over in, and she never answered my question. She attacked me.
They never do.
She attacked me for saying what I'm saying because I'm trying to get my point across that is not true. if we're saying something, we're having a conversation, we're going to talk about what's true, and we're going to talk about exactly what we're talking about.
And say that I personally, I'm not nothing against Saudi women or anything like that. I'm saying in my world, I can't see this mouth in over there, and and not beat to death. I can't see me over there.
But if you grew up that way, and that's another privileged statement you say, maker, because you grew up that way, you wouldn't be that way.
Or maybe I would, because there are people who did get beat to death.
Yeah, no, they did.
They did.
But then you might have been one of the girls that seen the person get beat to death and be like,
I like to believe I'm a learner.
Yeah.
But I have done some stupid things for principle. You stupid motherfucker.
Yeah, you can't see what I'm saying there. You can't see my
What'd you say? Nothing.
No, they don't see their mouth at all. So you
don't see nothing moving. But I don't know what that world looks like. So I'm trying not to offend them because I don't know what it fully looks like. But I'm saying the perceived.
What I'm saying about women having the same rights they have over here in America. That's the only thing I was saying.
No, they don't.
Yeah, they don't have the rights. They don't have the same rights.
And I'm not saying they want him or not, but I'm just saying for me, I want the rights that I have, or they said I was supposed to have. I want the actual rights. And I can sit there and say, I want them actual rights, and still say it's hard to be me, and still say it's also hard to be to be somebody without the same rights that I have.
But to make that
possibility both exist.
Yeah, it exists. But my thing is, when you say stuff like that, right? To that, you have other people. We're on social media. You have other people that seeing that. We don't know what's the mentality of other people, right? Or India, yes, India too. We don't know the mentality of other people, right? So they're reading, they're believing what you're saying, and they're not understanding, right? You as a black woman in America have way more liberties, way more protection, way more everything than anybody on that side of over there. You have way more. So we cannot say that statement.
I'm thinking about that statement. But go ahead.
But I'm saying with the other places where
as a general rule.
As a general rule, yeah. I mean, I'm sure there's always exceptions to a rule.
Yeah. But as a general rule, we should have more protections than other people.
As I always say, whenever I say anything, we're talking majority. I'm talking generalization, but I'm talking majority. So and I was attacked for that, saying that. I was attacked. I'm like, oh no.
That's because I'm not sure. I'm only assuming. Sometimes when people are expressing their pain and other people come in to provide an alternative to say, hey, your situation, that may imply that your situation is not that bad because of this, and it almost invalidates their pain. And then she may take it as
she responded to me. I wasn't responding to her. She responded to me. That was her response to me about so whatever in or on the planet, she tried to quote something that was not the correct quote, and I was trying to tell her, oh, that's not right. What you're saying is not right. If we're gonna talk about stuff, let's say the right thing. So it was not. I'm not saying I wasn't not negating what she was saying as far as how she felt about it.
I would ask her.
I was saying no. I'm gonna let you see when we get off. I'm gonna let you see the whole conversation. No, I'm not.
No, I'm just saying not her. Okay, I don't care about her. I'm just saying if you were having a worthwhile conversation, because social media, I just had a conversation with somebody and they deleted our conversation.
Oh yeah, because it was wrong. Because they felt it was wrong.
Well, it was a woman married, found out her husband likes men too, and he told her he was bisexual. Okay. And then that happened. He cheated on her. She found out he was bisexual, and then the next statement was, I didn't know I was with a gay man. And then the next statement was, I took the HIV test and nothing came out. And I was like, wait. I was like, look, I am so sorry that you experienced somebody taking your choice away by cheating on you. I'm so sorry about that. But I said, but let me be clear. A bisexual man is not a gay man. A bisexual man is a bisexual man. And it's important for you to understand that because you're saying that he couldn't love you because you're saying he's gay.
Because he wants only men.
Yeah. You're saying he only wants men. But he's telling you he's bisexual means he loves you and he's attracted to other men.
He's attracted to men sexually.
And maybe that will provide you some solace because you can't help what you're attracted to. Maybe that could help with that. And then I also said it's very homophobic to speak out and talk about the HIV part as it pertains to gay.
Like that's only people that have HIV. Yeah.
Exactly.
And that's how it used to be in the 80s when you first found out about HIV.
Exactly.
They were bashing gay people because this is a gay disease.
Yeah. And so in the comments, there was a bunch of that in the comments. A bunch of people saying like little sly remarks of homophobia and stuff like that. And so because I said what I said, they were like, "You sitting here shitting on that woman and her experience." I'm not. I'm not trying to shit on her experience, but what I'm also not trying to do is let somebody who been hit other people.
Yeah, and have pass the ignorance on other folks.
Yes, and there's something to learn from. Like, I mean, I always said that if, like, my ex-husband used to like to cheat. I mean, some people have hobbies.
Maybe spit, stupid ass. Was he good at his hobby? I mean, was he good at it? What is he good at? It was a hobby. Was he good at it?
When you love what you do,
he was good at. Okay, it's not work. Yeah, it's not work. Yeah, I loved it. I love what I do. I go clock in. I just okay.
I'm dying. So he used to like doing what he liked doing. I fucking forgot what I was saying.
Yeah, what was your point? Because it's like you just wanted to let us know he was good at what he did. Okay.
I swear. You
sure? Are you sure? Like you just wanted to bring that man hobby out into open and go ahead. Okay. That's why you got it.
Here's the point. All right, here's the point. I could sit there and look at that moment what he did and what all the times he did it
and how good he was at
it. And how amazing he did a job at it. And get mad and then throw all the shit away. You know what I mean? I can't do that. My ex-husband wasn't a bad guy. He was great. He was lovable. Like he was a great dude, and he took care of me as much as he could take care of me. But what I'm not gonna do is throw the baby out with the bathwater. And I'm talking about memories and that kind of stuff. I'm not saying you ain't
all
gotta
the good
leave.
Memories that you
Like, why invalidate? Like, I'm not trying to tear me down. He married me. He loved me. I believe that. He just had this too. So why would I we have to, I understand we have to allow for emotions and stuff, but we also have to be willing to have a real hard, honest look at ourselves and certain things. And that's it. Like, I don't know. Like, I know I said he was good. That was funny. I don't care what, that was funny. Like, if he ever watched these videos, he was killing me.
Like, I don't get no, like, every bullet just sniper dust. I was wondering why my side was hurting. I was just laying in the bed that day and what the hell is going on?
So, I mean, I'm trying to think, because I feel like I do come to makeup a lot. I'm trying to see what else. Because we do it all the time, and where we try to hide these things, right? Emotional things, like even emotional things.
Spanks.
Well, I'm not talking about like physical. I already came for the people.
Oh, you did the spank? Okay, so I'm not going
to change their body. I'm not trying to do that.
We can do that.
I'm talking about like
let's talk about with men. Let's talk about men. So let's get off of women. So
we wear spanks too.
Oh Jesus, no, man. You did tell me that. Yes, man.
Wear Spanx, they do filters.
Yeah.
They wear makeup. They put weave in there, huh?
Self in there.
They put weave in there.
Oh God.
Life ain't like this is like this now.
That's what equality look like, ladies. So stop shaming the men for doing that. Wearing Spanx, putting weave in their head, putting filter. Stop shaming the men. We're equal. Didn't you want equality? Didn't y'all want that? Huh?
You know, and here's the thing. I feel like low key. And on an unhealthy way. I feel like men actually had it good. Because you'd always see a fine chick with an old, out of shape, misfortunate looking man. But he was okay. And she loved him. Not the ones who had money, because that makes sense.
Yeah, it makes sense.
I'm talking about the other ones. Like,
well, something changed, though. Something changed.
No, like, think about...
no, I'm saying Bunker. Now. The reason why men ain't doing that, something has changed. I'm talking about now. Back then, yes. Yeah. You know, it was because women were content to have a man, and then they look past some stuff.
That's the unhealthy
part. And they look past some stuff.
They were happy with their bodies.
But no, they wasn't. Well, yeah. Because it wasn't, you were not shedding a light on it, right? So now women come at men full force when, he talking to women, you get certain energy now. That's true. So that's what it is. It's the fact that women give men energy like that. And not all, I understand men, like some men or society used to do it to women. Like they wouldn't view,
that's what I said.
Misfortunate looking man. Okay. It used to be that women used to get, shamed for their body type in society. In the black community, it was totally different. The black community,
no, it was the bigger the better.
Yeah, the bigger the better. So that's why I don't understand that from our community doing certain things, because they never got that. Yeah, we buy into the media stuff.
It's stupid.
Yeah, we buy into too much of the media shit, and they like dudes have body issues also. Like dudes have big they have body issues.
Lipo. They get lipo and they install those little.
They install it up here and they they trust it. Yeah,
they do. And all of that's a lie because your titties don't look like that in real life.
Mm-hmm. You looking all plump and stuff.
Yep. You got a keg underneath that little thing you put on the six pack. I've seen men airbrush abs.
Yeah, airbrush abs, exactly.
I've seen it all.
To take pictures, and it's crazy. It is crazy.
I'll be okay if you were taking pictures to take pictures, but you try to take that on the beach, and there's just a lot. There's a lot happening here, and it's
look, the shadow not even right. Look, if the ab will cast a shadow up under, there ain't no shadow, sir. There ain't no shadow. I got a shadow down here. Only one shadow.
Rub it out.
Go in the water. I dare you. I dare you to go in the water.
Who did I talk to who say they go on dates now?
Yeah,
water dates.
We go someplace swimming.
Oh, Fuquan said that. That's stupid.
We go swimming on the first date.
So that's where we're at. Or I remember there was a time. I'm just ahead of time. This ain't a shit statement. This ain't a shit statement. I remember a time I was talking to somebody and they were like, they went on a date with this guy and he was a nice guy. Great. Nothing wrong with him the whole night. And she's like, she went on whatever. And there was like a week or so passed and it was time for them to get it going. Right. So time they take off their clothes and she's like, he had one leg. He had a fake leg. He didn't even tell me he had a fake leg. And she was so upset about the fact that he had a fake leg. No, shut up. Like he was so no, not
kickstand.
No. He had a fake leg. She was so upset the fact that he had a fake leg and he didn't tell her about it. It was like a violation. Like she didn't want to do it no more. Yeah. I'm like, well, why is that any different than you have fake lashes, you have fake eyes, you have this? And like, keep in mind, while she's telling me this, she has other people contacts in her eyes. Like she has like full lashes the whole nine. Like her hair ain't hers. And I'm like, this man needs that leg to walk.
That's a necessity. Yeah.
And you are calling him out as a faker. I'm sitting here.
I'm gonna get you sucker. You remember that? I'm gonna get you sucker.
That's the funniest part.
Where you going?
But sometimes I be sitting here hearing people talking. I'm like, wow.
You believe that?
They're saying this shit like out loud and they're not laughing. This is not a joke to them. This is amazing.
Yeah. We got a lot of people like that in the world. A lot. And they walk around amongst us.
they're amongst us. Melissa, just give me credit for that term. Give me credit, Melissa. Yeah, they're amongst us, and they're delusional. That's what I was like. All right, hate me what you want, but you're delusional. Like you're delusional because you live in a society, an environment where you believe that it's okay to do that, and it's different than what it is. Sorry, we're reading something. Melissa says, they try to touch date's hair and they keep trying to stop you. Then you realize they have a toupee. You know, and so
you're real touchy. Why are you so touchy? Stop touching on them,
Melissa.
They don't know you like that. That's what. This on the first date.
I had to ask myself that, like a hard question, right? I had to ask because I'm like, I've seen people with toupees on and stuff like that, and I'm like, I mean, I ain't gonna lie. I used to laugh. Because it wasn't the best job. Like you should go see my lady. She'll do a better job. It wasn't the best job blending and stuff like that. But I had to become honest with myself and say I can't hold it against them for having a toupee and stuff like that. Because
genetics.
I wear braids.
That's genetics. But that's genetics.
But clearly they feel I put other people hair in my hair. And some people don't. Everybody don't look good, ball. Like and my best friend, I always used to isn't that the most disrespectful thing when they have more hair on their body than their head?
So y'all shaming bodies, they already got a problem with it.
I just feel like I'd just be mad. I'd just be like, all this hair, you can't move it up.
Brush it. Just look. Trying to rub.
Comb over. I just think that the I try not to judge that because I know I put hair in my head. I know I do these things, right? I know I will put on a Spanx, right? Because I wear fitted stuff. I
Mm-hmm.
know I do that. So I try to understand that. But let me say this. If I did date somebody who was wearing a toupee and it looked horrible, I'm going to take him to see my girl.
Take him somewhere and do it right. Yeah, let's do it right.
And if he try to leave me, I'm going to rip that shit right off of him. I made you better. You better stay still.
Just stay with me. Just stay with me.
Although I feel like I'm irresponsible because of that joke. I want to be responsible and say, don't change nobody. Don't try to change nobody because when they leave you, you're gonna be mad.
Yeah.
All right. Never change. Like if you like them just the way they are, don't try to make them better. Let them better themselves. That way, if something go wrong and y'all ain't together, you ain't bitter about it. Because I will go for your new toupee collection. I'll take it all out. Bleach. Yeah, bleach on everything. Like I'm gonna ruin everything. You ain't gonna go to my lady no more. I wish.
No, men do it too, and they got way better toupees. They got units now, not toupee. They got units. they looking they know
terminology.
Yeah. I've been paying attention since you told you educated me last year on some stuff.
Oh, you looking up?
Yeah. I had to go look. I had to go look it up. They got units. Dude walked in with a bald head, came with a flat top. What the hell?
What the
hell? Yeah. It was tight. It was A1. It was A1. But I'm like, damn, we equality.
Hey, equality.
Equality. That's all it is. Equality. Oh wow.
Melissa says next time swap out the toupee glue for Vaseline.
Sliding off. I don't know why this thing won't stay on. I don't know.
Or put some what's the hair removal cream?
Oh wow, Nair.
Put some Nair on.
Oh wow. So the only hair, the little hair he got is gonna fall out. I'm just gonna ball all the way around.
He gonna get a new unit. Don't listen to us. Now this is just
exactly. Yeah, because look, hey, we are not responsible for if your woman goes out and do that, bro. We not responsible. It's a joke.
Yeah, that was a joke.
It was a joke. No, I'm sorry to give y'all ideas, ladies. But I'm not responsible.
But that's where this is where the topic comes from. It's actually out of love that I say, do we hate stuff? Melissa says, new hairdresser fault.
Hey, y'all made them who they are. Women made them who they are. That's what it is. Y'all made them that damn good because they had to work with y'all.
No, talking about to blame the hair falling out.
Oh, okay. Oh, wow.
But it's out of love that I sit here and say this, that we ask. I mean, just ask yourself the question: why are you doing what you're doing? Like, how much is too much? I just had that conversation with my niece. I'm like, my niece does the flies hairstyles on herself. It's great, right? But at the end of the day, I'm like, it's pulling out your edges. And she's like, well, yeah, but I try to do this. I said, that pulls out your edges too. I said, look, I'm just telling you, right? You see, like today, I got 2-strand twists, right? I rarely, if ever, wear my hair out. Rarely, because my hair especially during wintertime, because it dries out very easy. It's just not healthy for my hair to have my hair out like all the time. Just it looks great. Fucking love it. I get a lot of likes and a lot of attention from people, but why am I doing something that's not good for me in the long run? And that's why I try to make sure she understands, and I'm trying to make sure y'all understand. Yeah, it looks great. Like let me tell y'all, if I get my face beat, I'm like a solid 9.8. All right. If I put makeup on my face, it is just what it is. If I get this together, I'm a solid 9.8 and a half. Okay. But is it worth it? Is it worth it? Because if I meet somebody and this guy like, oh, you a solid 9.8 and a half, use it, whatever. Yeah. And then first off, the next time he see me, I need to be a solid.
Yeah, you got to be that all the time.
Yeah.
And when you're not,
the disappointment. Oh my God, that happened to me one time. Okay. So I get my hair straightened to get trimmed, right? And so this is before I cut my hair, right? Before I went through the breakup and I cut my hair all off. And now I regret it because I had really great hair. And so I got it straightened. And so it was straightened. It was down to the middle of my back, right? And so I was like feeling myself walking down the street. Flip the whole night. Yeah. And so I met this guy. And so like my straightening can last during the wintertime. It can last like 2 weeks. So we went out for a few dates, right? And then it was time to wash my hair. So I didn't think about it. Oh my God. I didn't think about it. I honestly didn't. I wasn't straightening I didn't think that I met him with straight hair. I didn't think that was
that meant that meant anything to him like that.
I didn't think about that either, right?
Yeah.
So I washed my hair. I washed my hair and I didn't even try to make it big or anything like that. I just had it in a protective style because that's how I normally wear my hair. And so I came in to him and I was dressed up and I came and saw him. And I swear at first he didn't even recognize me. Because I told you're on the phone. I'm like, he's like, where are you? I'm about to walk in now.
I'm looking for my girl. I'm looking. She cute as hell. She gonna be here in a little while. Ma'am, could you get out my way? I can't see. What?
Move. Cicely, move.
You sure is ugly.
So, and the look on his face, the actual crestfallen, that's the word I would use to describe his face when he saw my hair. And he's like, wait. He said, what happened to your hair? I said, I washed it. He said, wait, you don't have a perm? No, I don't. I don't have a perm. My hair is natural. And he's like, oh, so but you straighten it more. Like he was trying to salvage it.
He's trying to find in his mind some way that this can continue going on. Like if I get her a bunch of straightening combs in the paper bag and the grease, he went and looked it up. How do you do? Oh, the grease.
My mom if she could do it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I'm gonna ask my mom how to do all that stuff because this. I did like her. She's great. She great.
And needless to say, I don't know if I have to finish the sentence. It's gonna surprise y'all that we didn't work out.
Yeah,
it's gonna surprise y'all. I know
it didn't work out.
I know it's hard to believe, right? Hard to believe. So yeah, we didn't work out because he had an idea what he was looking for, and he didn't have it with me. But what I wasn't gonna do is straighten my hair
all the time.
No, fuck you.
You be bald head right
great.
now.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Fuck you. I'm great. You better take this coils.
These Negro coils.
You better run your fingers through it and carefully.
Clack, 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 clack. It might be a little resistance right now.
I get a good.
Just a little resistance. Just a little resistance.
I keep it moisturized. And they gonna do that, but you better run through it carefully. I better not see no hair because pull too goddamn hard. God damn it. Like
I need that.
But we're doing this stuff, and like, here's my thing, Melissa. Thank you. Here's my thing about that. It's not because I did it because I didn't like him. I actually really liked him. I did it because why am I harming myself? And I know my hair type. My hair type is I can't take a lot of heat. It can't take any color because it'll start breaking off. So I know these things are harmful to me. So why am I purposely doing something? And I told him that. I told him, I said, straightening my hair is very harmful to my hair. I like to keep it healthy and long. So this is what I do to keep it healthy and long. And he still wanted me to straighten it. So why would I, if you don't care about me?
Yeah.
Why do I care about you?
Yeah. Why do you care about what he thinks about you?
And that's the same thing. Like you with your pimply face. You got a pimply face. Either fix it because you're not happy with it. Change your diet. Go to a dermatologist. Don't take that.
See what the actual problem is.
Don't take that Accutane. That Accutane is crazy. Okay, Accutane will make you crazy. But find out what the actual problem is. Solve the problem, and then get more self-worth. Thank you. So
yeah, I do too. You could, stop it. Anyway,
but you get more. And start loving yourself where you're at. Not saying you don't love yourself, but love every flaw of yourself.
Yeah, embrace your flaws because that is who you are.
Yeah.
And if you don't embrace it, nobody else will.
No. And the expectation and honestly, I'll say it like this, and I'm gonna say this, and he's gonna correct me. If you like men, most men don't give a shit.
Yeah. We don't.
If you like women, a woman's not gonna give a shit. A woman cares about her own stuff, right? She like her own imperfections are the things she try to fix. Like a woman's gonna look at another woman and only appreciate their beauty. Think about how many times walked up to a woman and be like, "Oh my God, I love that dress, girl. Your
Yet you self-conscious about what she's talking about.
Yes. Yeah. There's not you the only person who sees that flaw. And if you see it, fix it, but fix it the healthy way. Don't sit there and do all this extra. Yeah, shortcuts.
Yeah, don't take shortcuts.
And I've said this before to people because people have told, like I tell people all the time. I remember when Katrina had this conversation with me one time, and she seriously sat me down and had this conversation. She said, "Nicole, I
have another child."
I didn't say that, Katrina.
Hey, Katrina. I'll see you in a little bit.
Did you see Katrina sent me a note saying that she said in 2021 I signed up for a full meal plan of hating.
No, I didn't see that. No, I didn't see.
I thought that was hilarious. Like I started Katrina. So I always talk about my weight fluctuates. Like I've been as much as 250 pounds, as least as 150 pounds. That's just my weight fluctuates. And it depends on a lot of things: stress factors, my eating habits, working out, stress factors, relationship, stress factors. Like stress is a big impetus in
Food
my life.
Being in my distance.
Well,
in my surrounding.
For a lot of people, it's less about that. I've seen people eat. Well, also what they put in food.
Yeah. What they
put in food
is.
I've seen people not eat a lot of stuff and still gain weight. But they put a lot of shit in food now. So, like, whether or not you're reactive to hormones and stuff like that, there's a lot of factors. So my sister's like, "You're just a thick girl." She's like, "You don't look bad thick. You look good." Yeah. She's like, "You're just that. Why do you keep trying to kill yourself to work out?" I'm like, "Because I'm not doing it for other people. I want to be healthy. I want to be around for a long time. I don't want to be a diabetic. I don't want to be somebody with one leg. I don't want to be hypertension. I don't want to have those things. I want to be the best me." And I say that from a weight standpoint, but I say that all the way around. I want to be the best me. That means I want to work on my temper because I have a temper problem. I want to work on my attitude because I had an attitude problem. I want to work on being happy and finding happiness with myself, because these are the things I'm not doing. I want to work on the fact that I'm so hard on myself, and the fact that I overthink about everything, and I stress out to the point where I can't even sleep because I'm thinking about the next things that I've forgotten, those kind of things. These things I want to let go. So for me to do that, I have to do the hard work. That means I have to talk to a therapist and expose some veins. I got to tell people, "Hey, I need this from you," and understand that if they say they can't do it, it's just going to hurt. Like, it's those things you have to start doing. But until you stop acting like you don't have these flaws, you won't ever be better.
You won't ever be to that point. Well, you will. What's going to happen is one day you can't run no more. You can't escape no more.
Oh, yeah.
You're not going to have the funds to do whatever you were doing at some point. Whatever shortcut, you're not going to have the method or the means to do whatever it is. And then you're going to have to sit there and face whatever is wrong.
Did you have that situation happen with you? Like, I knew, like I told you, like, I'm a fighter. Like, I'm instantly a fighter. I will fight. Like, when I was growing up, that's what I needed, right? To get to the next step. I remember.
Need to punch something out in the face?
Well, it went from physical fighting, because I used to fight.
Yeah.
You know, I was a fighter.
Yes, I do know.
I'll put the paws on it. But it went from that to just like physically fighting. Like they said that I remember, because look, I may have missed a few days of school.
Allegedly,
I may have missed a few days of school, but because I missed alleged few days of school, but my grades were so good, they tried to say they were going to keep me back, but they couldn't, because my grades
were so good. Yeah.
So they tried to say that if I didn't get a straight A in all my classes, they were going to use that as a reason to keep me back, or something like that. I forget the full story, but I just remember that's my fight.
Yeah.
And
that became the struggle that you could focus on, and
something was trying to hold me back. So I fed off of things trying to hold me back. I fed off of people trying to hold me back. I fed off of people saying you ain't gonna ever amount to something. You know, and I fed off that energy, and that negative energy fueled me forward to me getting to this level. And I remember when I graduated from college, and I remembered when I got my job, like I had blessings upon blessings, and I did not know how to be grateful for it, because the only thing I understood was fight. And I couldn't be grateful. I had to create situations for myself of struggle
in order to feel happy.
Yes.
Yeah. No, we are pretty much the same person. My thing was not fighting. My thing was somebody telling me I couldn't do something. So I'm going to prove to you. I'm going to prove to you that I could do whatever you say. And I'm extra because of that. Because anything I do, I'm going to go above and beyond. And that, unless I'm doing that, that's when I feel comfortable, when I'm doing extra stuff.
When you're creating chaos.
Yeah, kind of chaos. Yeah, but it's not always chaos.
But like I say chaos, but like, so like I still do it now. Keep in mind, like I still do it, like but I've channeled it. I've channeled it in a way where it's less external and it's more internal. So like the triathlon, like I agree. Having straight hair, non-straight hair is not a flaw, but it was to him. So I mean, I don't
The way he looked at it.
I don't care. I personally don't care what other people think about. I don't personally care what other people think about me, period. Because I think I'm great. And as long as my evaluation of myself matters, like that's the only thing that matters to me. Unless there are people in my life, like if somebody says something, I'm gonna ask myself, is that a problem? Is that something that could be true? And I'm probably gonna go to my family and my friends, my circle, to confirm whether or not that's something I need to work on. And just the fact that I do that alone means that I'm able. Yeah, that was me. That was my comment. Just the fact that I'm able to do that means that it's a good thing.
You learn. I mean, you're growing. You're growing.
Yeah, I'm more likely to grow than other people who are refusing to ask that question.
Yeah. Or in a see, I think a lot of folks are in victim mentality to where they don't want to look at the problem because
I think a lot of people don't want to see their flaw. Nobody wants to hear they're wrong.
Okay.
A lot of people don't want to hear they're wrong. And so that's why if you don't want to hear you're wrong, how can you improve?
Yeah. Oh no, you can't. You can't. Yeah.
So you're stagnant. So if you're already willing to ask yourself, am I wrong? And really be receptive to the answer. Not saying you gotta like it. I don't like when people tell me I'm wrong. I go home and no, I was wrong. Like I don't like hearing it. I want to hear I'm awesome, but I'm gonna take it.
Yeah.
I'm gonna take it and I'm gonna take it on and I'm gonna be like, well, these are the people. This is my circle. These are the people I trust.
Yeah, I trust. So they're not gonna tell me anything because I vetted them. They're not gonna tell me anything they're trying to hurt me. You know, I have chemistry.
Not saying they're always right.
Yeah, and they don't have to be right. You're right. You know,
but the purpose.
But yeah, the purpose behind it. I'm not gonna look at it like an attack because these are people in my circle.
Yeah, absolutely. So I forgot what we were saying before that. It doesn't matter. Okay. But no, we were talking about taking your weaknesses and we were talking about how we approach things, right? And how we had to change and amend how we approach things. Yeah. Like I did it with the performance when I did the storytelling. Those are all things I always take on. Just as an FYI, y'all, this podcast, I always have this thing where I want to take on something that I absolutely have no earthly idea how to do, how to make it successful, and try to make it my own. And that feeds me.
Yeah.
That's my new way of doing things. So it's not like external, it's more internal, and it's also helpful.
It's helpful. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because you've learned stuff. I've learned stuff. I'd rather have someone tell me. Okay.
Yeah, no. To build trust.
Yeah.
So I think, Melissa, I think there just has to be a safe. You know what I love about Clubhouse? So I will say that I'm not saying everybody's opinions or opinions I value. I know that sounds mean, but
no, you can't. You'd be crazy if you do.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, but I will say I have not been in a Clubhouse forum where there's not been healthy dialogue that is from standpoints of, well, I understand what you're saying. This is my perspective. This is this. I don't agree. But it's not aggressive. It's not attacking.
It's respectful dialogue.
It's a great environment to be in. So if y'all are on Clubhouse, y'all should look me up. Because I eventually want to start doing some talks about money, but hopefully I'll find some people who want to have that. Like money is my thing. I like talking about saving money, bringing and like just like this stuff. Like this is what I'm passionate about. Like trying to make us healthy and whole the whole way around. Right? I mean,
not just surface level.
Yeah,
all the way through.
I'd argue I don't even care about surface.
Yeah,
I mean, it will happen because of result.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, and eventually it's gonna go out. It's gonna be outward.
Somebody who's happy inside is always gonna be happy outwardly. That's it. Clubhouse is there's this app on iPhones that only iPhone users.
Yeah, only iPhone. They won't be special. I'm an Android man.
But when it gets over to Android, it's gonna blow up. Yeah, I'm holding all my invites. So when we get to Android, I can invite you. This is an invite only because we care about being chosen.
Yeah, the chosen few.
And I am the Android.
How many can you have?
Well, normally only get one, but I participate in stuff. As you participate, you get more.
Oh, okay.
So I participate in forums and stuff like that, and so I have more. So I have like around. Oh, you're iPhone, okay, all right. Then you have to be message me, and I'll give you one of my invites, Melissa. You have to message me your number so I can invite you via your number.
So that's when you gonna come on and say something, so you because you feel special, huh? I'm talking to my cousin, our cousin. Then she won't talk, say something now. I was chosen. Mm-hmm.
So my homegirl put me onto it because she's like, I have this podcast and she thinks it's good. Like I get a lot of I ain't selling those invites.
What?
I'm not gonna do that. Yeah, you can sell them. People make a
Really?
lot of money off of it. Yeah, because they want to be chosen.
Okay. That's
what's
crazy.
Exclusive?
That is crazy.
This is the whole part of the problem.
Yeah.
What's exclusive is what I want, whether or not it's good for me or not. Yeah. What do I gain from it? Mm-hmm. It's not like, and don't get me wrong, it is good networking. Mm-hmm. I've had people join my page because of it, mm-hmm. and seen these podcasts because of it. Mm-hmm. It's good networking, no doubt, but whatever. Oh yeah, you can look me up. Yeah, it's under KNECOLE. Nikki Blake though. It might be under NIKKIBLAKE. It might be under that. I don't even know.
No, I was gonna put it in there. Right?
I'll put it in.
Look up on Facebook and.
Yeah, on Facebook. If you go to my Facebook, I just sent you a comment. I just responded to one of your comments. That's what I was saying. Yeah. And I'll send you an invite.
Yeah. Hit up on Facebook and the comment.
And I won't sell it. I'll give it you an invite. But no, it's that's it. That's all I have. That's all I have regarding like hate it or love it. Like it is what it is. Like we're at a place where we are seeing who we are. And then I will end with this. We're seeing who we are, the younger us, and then regretting all the things that we did.
When we get older, yeah. Regretting our choices.
Mm-hmm. And I'm trying to get ahead of a lot. Like we're gonna always have regrets. Mm-hmm. But there are a lot of regrets we walk in eyes wide open.
Yeah, and we do it knowing damn well what we're gonna get in the end, but we still do it because it feels good.
Yes. Yeah, and that's what I'm trying to get people aware of. Like, there was this young lady who was talking, and she was like, she seemed like a really, really aware young lady about her situation, and she was talking about the relationship she was in, where she was with a man who was the wrong guy, and he ended up going to jail. But before he went to jail, they had a kid. And her kid is going to grow up because he has serious time. She's going to be an adult by the time he gets out.
So she's a single mother now.
So she's a single mom. And she says, I take ownership for the fact that I knew that this wasn't the right person for me. And everybody's like, that ain't your fault. You did the best you did, blah, 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 blah. And I was like, look, I ain't going to let y'all do that to her. I said, she didn't say that she took ownership for his actions.
Not him, her own.
She took ownership for her own actions. And I respect that.
That's accountability. And that's the problem I see a lot. People don't want to be accountable for their own stuff.
Yeah.
They'd rather push it off on somebody else.
And until you become accountable, you'll never change.
Yeah. You always be in that same place. Yeah. And you'll keep making the same mistakes.
Exactly.
You'll go to the same type of person because you didn't learn nothing when you did the thing the first time.
Or maybe you knew it was wrong, but you know how when you're gambling?
Yeah.
And you keep it on red because eventually it's gonna pay.
Come on. Yeah. Come on, 7 with your
riding red, riding number 7, riding whatever.
7.
Yeah. What is that called? Relay?
No, that's craps.
Crap. Oh,
yeah, craps.
I don't even know.
Come on, 7 with your funky ass.
Yeah. Well, you keep riding that thing because you're trying to make that pay off. Melissa says, when I've done that, I try to remember that I decided to make that choice. Otherwise, I end up in the victim mode.
And that's what I was speaking of. A lot of people are in the victim mode because they don't take accountability of their own decisions.
And there's power in ownership fuckery.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I mean, hey, I did it.
I remember messing with a dude and I was like, yo, this dude is just using me. And but every time I thought about it, I was using him too.
Yeah, you was getting something out of it.
Ownership. Yeah. Like, it's not even that I ended up not being with him and not dealing with him. No, I dealt with him for a while because I realized what I wanted out the situation. And it doesn't matter what he wants. Am I getting what I want out the situation? So it became less about him and more about inward.
You. Yeah, it was a trade-off. It was a trade-off. And you realized that it was a trade-off and you weren't being a victim saying he's doing this to me. No, I'm also doing it back to him. So
and I could easily take that story could easily fit that narrative.
Yeah, that victim. Yeah. He did this to me.
Yeah. Yeah, I think there's definitely power owning everything you do.
Yeah.
And I think that girls don't like. I think just from that lesson, I don't think she ever got in another relationship like that.
Like that, yeah.
I'm
And
not saying she didn't get another bad one.
and that's the good
But
thing about it.
yeah,
She learned from it.
hmm
That's what life is about. Life is about learning from everything. Like learning, understanding the why of things, why it happened,
hmm
and growing.
yeah, and you can't control the other part of the person's why, but you can
Yeah.
control
Your
yours.
own.
And it's not to say you're never gonna make another mistake. You will. You will make mistakes because
But
that's
not
how
that
you
same
grow.
mistake.
Yeah,
Hopefully,
hopefully.
not that same mistake.
Or you'll realize it and it won't fit. Like I was just thinking, like I was just telling my sorority sister this year, how much I've changed from last year to this year. And I didn't it's just been a year, but it was like a blinking over because I was dating this guy and I was trying to do old relationship shit in this relationship, right?
In this day and age.
Well, in this relationship, like it's toxic stuff.
Okay, gotcha.
It was toxic stuff. Like I was trying to understand his shit, explain away his shit, stuff that didn't work for me. And I was trying to understand why I wasn't happy in this situation. I changed. I'm not the same person that I used to be. And so it doesn't matter why I don't want to be with this person. I don't want to be with them. And that's the answer. And walking away with that was enough. And like once I made that decision to walk away, and I didn't need to know why I felt the way I felt, why he was doing what he was doing, or all this other shit.
It didn't matter. Yeah, it didn't matter.
I had to take ownership. I can sit there and try to say he did this, 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 and this, and this, but I'm sitting here watching him do this, or I can just walk away.
So, Rocky, we're not talking about red flags. We're talking about something that actually, well, the comment is there are red flags that you don't even know exist until the relationship is over. You can't be responsible for what you don't know. So if someone knows and accepts responsibility, good. The problem occurs when people apply that rule unilaterally.
So we talked about this before you got on, Rocky, and I was telling him how we had that conversation and I was wrong with that. You're right. Sometimes growth doesn't happen until after. We're not talking about that. This young lady said that she understood when she walked into it. And I won't even speak for her, even though that's what she said. I'll speak for myself. I know I walked into some relationships that were fucked. Like I'm
from the door.
I dated one person. I was like, this is gonna be a full ride.
And then I strapped up. Want the ride though. You was like, okay, I'm prepared. Let me put my little helmet on.
yeah. I'm going.
Let me do it. Let's go.
And then when I'm done, and I'm like this,
sideways and everything, feet up in there. Woo! Woo!
Oh, hold on, let me get myself together. I gotta stretch. I gotta fix some things. Okay. My back hurt.
Now I'm done.
Yeah, and now I'm done. And now I get off the ride. But I can't. I'm talking about those kind of people. I'm not talking about. I've also been the person where the relationship's over. I'm devastated, and then I learn my lesson. And I've been that person too. But I'm just talking about the first one because sometimes when you change the narrative, because keep in mind, I might have been kicked over to the side like that, but I enjoyed that ride, right? For the good parts and the bad. Oh, Lord.
Yeah, exactly. Whatever.
Heidi, I don't know if love is blind. Heidi, I don't know.
No, we choose not to see certain things, and we explain in a way by that statement, I think.
I have a question about that.
Yeah.
I think poverty affords, like lack of poverty affords certain things when it comes to relationships, right? I think like because you're in survival mode, right? So it's not about love. Sometimes it's about sometimes it's about getting me out of the situation.
Yeah, codependency sometimes. That's what you're talking about?
Yeah. I'm not saying love isn't. I personally, Heidi, have never experienced love being blind. My eyes be wide open.
So you never like fell in love with a blind person? You never like.
I've always wondered.
Love somebody in Braille? You never.
I always wondered about that. I'm like, would that be a healthy relationship?
Yeah.
Like I'm like, how do I look? Oh shit! I'm so sorry. Like I feel like I
feel my face.
I'm so
feel my face.
I'm so awkward. I'm so awkward. I think about stupid shit like that. Or like anyway. Rocky says we don't get played when we know what we're getting into.
I was about to say something real bad. Bad joke.
See,
I was about to do a bad joke. Yeah.
I agree with you. That's what I'm saying. Taking ownership of your shit. Like, look, sometimes when we walk in self blind, eyes wide open, doesn't mean we're not gonna walk into it. It's just that we're aware of what our limits are in it.
And I want to say this too. Also, I think the problem is that when your eyes are not open, it stings harder. So that's why it feels
Stings
well. No,
punches.
punch is hard. I'm sorry, punch is harder. It hits hard. It feels that you because you can't brace for that hit.
No.
So that's the problem with that. Like not seeing stuff, eyes not being open or whatever.
Yeah.
When your eyes open, you brace for that. So it's like, okay, I knew it was coming. It grazed me, but it was still a hit, but it grazed me. Yeah, or you can move. Yeah.
Like I remember
you can counter it.
The same guy, the one I was like, oh, heard about whatever like that. Because I liked him, but I also knew who he was. I remember because I knew wide open what I was going into. I was like, you know what, Nicole, you need to make sure you figure out your triggers so you don't ever feel the victim, right? So I made sure I was the leader in everything. So he would come over to my place. And then he would leave it. No, sorry, I lie. Sorry. I would come over to his place and I'd leave directly afterwards, right? And guys won't think nothing of that because it's like, yay, she's gone, right? And then I would do that. And he'd be like, hey, I'm gonna come over to your place. I'm like, oh man, I'm already out. Let me just come over to your place and blah, blah, blah. So I would always do that, but I would always play like real meek, real mild, like, hey, can I come over to your spot? Like kind of stuff, right? And then one day he got it, right? And I never spent the night. So one day I came over to his place, right? And then I guess he figured out that I was happy leaving.
Yeah.
Right? So then he was like, hey, no, spend the night. I'm like, well, I got to get up in the morning.
He did a boomerang. Boomerang.
He did. And I was uncomfortable, right? And then he wanted to come by my house, but I refused to let him come by my house. I don't care how bad he wanted to. I refused to let him come over my house. But that ownership and that, it's something stupid, right? I was in my 20s. It's something it seems so trivial, but that power dynamic mattered.
It mattered at that point.
Yeah. And I'd be lying to tell you if it didn't, because there was a few areas I had to be honest about with myself. Like he had a real fetish for light-skinned women, right? And we're from a place where colorism is a big thing.
Big deal.
And so for me, I never thought of myself as hypersensitive to it until I started messing with him. So you started
messing with,
And then it fed into some insecurities I had about
that you didn't know you had.
That I didn't know.
Yeah.
Yes. I didn't know I had those things. But I did. But I had to realize that's my shit. And him not dealing with me in the way he deals with them is his thing. I don't have to take on his shit.
Yeah.
And I don't want to be with anybody who don't want, my skin is gorgeous. I'm not even saying that because I'm like, it's me. I'm just saying I have great fucking skin. Everybody says so. So how can I not be happy with myself? But I was not happy with myself
in that moment.
Yeah. Because I was living in a area where I was being fed something that wasn't me.
And you were seeing things through his eyes.
Yes. Yes. And that's it. So, and I'm telling you that from the standpoint of, I've never heard anybody saying anything disparaging about me when it comes to my skin tone.
But it took that one person. It took that one person. Yeah. Because you gave him more power. You gave him power.
I did. I did. And I'm like, it blew me away that I did.
Rocky, don't feed into that foolishness.
Thank you, Rocky.
She didn't say it. She didn't say she's awesome enough this podcast. So we gonna she didn't use up for the
awesome too,
she didn't used up some for the next podcast also. Anyway.
Melissa says most people you can see the flags quickly, but we discount. The only time people can't see it is with someone who is a sociopath because they can hide it well.
Like old Joe. Like Joe. You. On you?
Oh Lord, Jesus, you.
I'm waiting for it to come back on.
Date him. He crazy though.
Yeah, he's crazy.
Everything about him is crazy to me.
Yeah, he's crazy.
Melissa, let me tell you what I do well. I read crazy well. Okay, I don't know what it is, but my little things be like, bitch, move, bitch, run. Like I have a whole storytelling thing that I did where I got stalked. I spoke to him and I was like, this dude's crazy. And that was enough.
That's all it took when you spoke.
Got stalked.
All it took was you speak to him.
Yeah, that's all.
I like the way she say hello.
That's it.
It was a personal hello.
Cluster bees hide it well. You're so stupid. Clusters.
I don't know. No.
In regards to the sociopath.
Oh, okay. Cluster bees. Okay, gotcha. Okay.
So when it comes to whether or not you learn it later or you learn it beforehand, is it just be a lot more patient with yourself with that, like, and be forgiving of yourself. Because I'm sitting here telling you these stories. I remember I used to beat myself up over that.
Mm-hmm.
Like I used to be, how dare somebody make me feel like how I dare I give a
You
shit.
allowed that you
Yeah.
allowed somebody to do that.
And I used to beat myself up, but whatever it is whatever it is.
Mhm.
Like, so
And you're human. We always like we try to like down ourselves for being human. That's a human nature.
well, but remember, I operated under straight, so it made sense for me during that time
Okay.
to not allow myself to have any emotions.
Okay, gotcha.
or
Okay,
any-
yeah. Because
Yeah.
strength was your strength
So
was
if
your
there were
wheelhouse.
people who exist
Mhm.
like that,
Mhm.
it's gonna be a lot harder for them to acknowledge their weaknesses, and they start lying to themselves with that. So
Mhm.
in my mind, I was responsible for my divorce,
Mhm.
like my husband cheating. I was responsible for all those things because I knew he was going to cheat on me.
Mhm.
I knew ahead of time. I knew he was cheating on me with. I knew
Mhm.
the whole 9.
Mhm.
I just didn't have the bandwidth to deal with
To
that
deal with
shit.
that at the time, yeah.
So I saw my marriage ending as a failure that I caused. That's what happens when you live in. It's very egocentric, by the way.
Mm.
It's a very egocentric ideology that has that, where you think you can control everything and
Everything.
everyone.
Mm-hmm.
That's
Yeah.
very egocentric. I'm not sitting here trying to tell you it wasn't when it was, but when somebody pointed it out to me, I was like, "Ow,
Yeah, exactly. Oh, that is me. Mm-hmm. I am.
no." But no, but
Yes.
no.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. That's what it is.
And
Mm-hmm.
then I
Yeah.
had to
You
take
had to
ownership.
accept. Mm-hmm.
So, and I had to ask myself. I mean, there were times I didn't like who I was. There was times, like literally, there have been. I can count times where I didn't like who I was as a person
Mm-hmm.
because I just disliked myself.
Mm-hmm.
Because either I changed for somebody that I didn't deserve, like I wasn't supposed to change for.
Ego. What you
Rocky
said? What it was?
says,
Egos.
"Oh
What?
no, all my breakups were their
What?
fault."
What?
I'm
Ego,
not saying that they weren't.
what?
Their actions didn't make the breakup. I'm saying for me that I saw myself.
See, there you go. There you go. That's you see, and you feeding into that. You feeding into that. I told you to call it what it was.
Rocky.
You could call it what it is, and let's move on. That's what I was trying to get you to tell you.
You are perfect.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Mm-hmm.
You are, because I love you.
Mm-hmm.
You are perfect.
I love you too.
I'm always
But
gonna
anyway,
rock for you. Okay. Even when you're being wrong, I'm gonna be like, well, she's my cousin.
yeah, she's my
Let
cousin.
me tie my hair up. It's gonna get messy. Yes. Girl, her my glasses. I just bought
these some nice glasses. I like these glasses.
But like I'm saying that if you I'm saying take ownership of your shit, but don't take it to the point where you're taking ownership of
their stuff.
shit.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what I'm talking about when I'm talking about do we hate who we are. When we do things, what's the ownership of our own stuff that causes us to lie to ourselves, causing us to harm ourselves.
Harm myself in the future. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And I use harm open-endedly. Like harm ourselves financially, harm myself emotionally, harm ourselves.
Whether it's small or whether it's big, I mean, it's still harming. You're still harming yourself in a certain manner. So
yeah. So, and I say that to say, like, also, I want to normalize the idea that we can love each other and never meet each other.
mm-hmm.
Like, we can show our concern and our care for each other because we're so quick to show our vitriol.
Yeah.
Like, this is what I learned from Trump's era.
Oh,
we're so quick to show our hate.
Yeah.
Like, I had to sit there and stop because I was getting angry at people I've known and I've engaged with. And like, we are cool. And like, on any other day, listening to them talk about this stuff,
wouldn't have bothered you.
No, it wouldn't have. But this response that came from me, I had to sit there and start questioning. I'm like, you know what? I choose love. I ain't stupid.
Yeah, you know who they are, but
I still choose love. And I also
but you have to feed hate. You have to feed hate, and that's the thing.
That's what we spend.
And we spend our time feeding hate instead of feeding love. And that harms us also. In the long run. It harms us because we are somewhere feeling some type of way. Stress affects your body negatively. So, and
I can love you with a gun in my pocket.
Yeah, it's true.
Don't fuck with me. Yeah. Don't think I'm just love does not equal weakness
or stupidity.
Or stupidity. Yeah. I'd be like, I love you. Oh no.
Don't get too close. No. Don't get too close. No.
Oh, but no.
You looking kind of suspect right now.
We're not doing that. No. But I love you. Bye. It is what it is. But we have to start loving ourselves, which means being honest to ourselves. which is a perfect plug for my Monday through Friday videos on financial literacy.
Mm-hmm.
What do you call it?
ADHD hour, money matters.
Money matters.
Mm-hmm.
ADHD hour, money matters, or money matters.
Money matters.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I do a Monday through Friday, not tomorrow because I'm gonna be sleeping in because it's holiday.
Martin Luther King, you taking off for the King holiday.
But I'm gonna talk about that on Tuesday.
Okay.
Monday through Friday, probably 10 minutes time. I try to keep it under 10 minutes, and I talk about financial literacy in some ways. Thank you, Heidi. I try to relate it to life because I think everything's relatable to life. We can talk about anything. I talk about hockey and relate it to love. I can talk about, you know what I mean? It's all relatable. But if we can get to a point where we are having these conversations as much as we're having these love and hip hop type ass conversations.
And we're quick to go into those conversations, but shy away from the other conversations that actually mean more.
So if we can have those conversations more, I think that as a people we're able to have and these conversations. We can have these conversations because it's not like this is why like we tell jokes. Don't get me wrong, we ain't shit. Okay. We ain't shit. We love a good joke.
And don't take it to where, we're trying to be offensive. Like
we're a ribbon family. We tell jokes, like I said,
and love each other to death, but we still could talk shit about each other
all day.
And I extend that to everybody that's hearing me. Like I could talk shit about you because sometimes I'm not shit, and I could care about you. I could genuinely care about you as a person. I don't know anybody I hate. I really don't know anybody I hate, to be honest.
No.
I don't have that kind of energy. I don't have the energy. So
Rocky says something. I'm not against what you're saying. Rocky says, I choose to be selective in my friendship. I don't love you if you don't love my race. My white friends are just as militant as me and I love them. Don't get me wrong. There are hierarchies to my love. But I can also say to you, Rocky, that I've been in a situation where I sat there and talked to somebody who did not like Black people. And if it wasn't for the fact that he knew me, and I didn't turn on him. I didn't say, fuck you, you little whatever.
You want him over a little bit. Yeah.
I talked to him. I tried to understand where he was coming from and whatever. And then I didn't even try to change his mind. We were just talking.
Just being yourself.
Yeah. And so eventually he was like, he came to me later because he was like, you know what? You're the first Black person I have for a friend. He wasn't my friend. He's racist.
No, but
I'm glad that he saw me as a friend. And then he was like, I'm going to talk to more Black people. And I'm like, good. Just don't be stupid.
Yeah. They don't go in the hood.
Yeah.
Trying to talk to Black people.
Hey, Black person.
Yeah. Hey, mister.
I got some candy. I heard y'all like candy.
I heard y'all like blunts. I got Swisher Sweets. I got some Swisher Sweets.
I'm saying that with love, you can do it. Yeah. But I also will tell you that if I told Willie, I ain't trying to change people's hearts like that. I ain't gonna go out my way to try to change, but I will tell you the truth and whatever. You won't see me trying to be like, hey, little white person, pass one of those K's over here. My name starts with a K. Look,
you're Karen. I'm Nicole.
Yeah, like
still a K. The K is silent.
Yeah. Like, and you can be silent too with all this racist stuff.
Shut the fuck up, Kathy.
Like, I'm not gonna go out my way to do that. But if somebody places this in my way and I've had my opinions change because people have taken the time to say she's not a waste of space.
Yeah. And I think that, so in that aspect, I think, because I have a guy that he backs Trump, right? He's a Trump supporter. He explained to me why he supported Trump, whatever, that's you. He didn't see what I saw because he comes from a certain place.
Yeah.
He comes from a certain place. It wasn't the fact that he hated Black people or he was racist. He comes from a certain place, a privileged white man. So as we had a conversation, one Black guy in there, he gets irate about certain things. He's a fucking idiot. He goes off. He goes off about this stuff. And I'm like, and they all both looked at me to be the median. Like I'm the person that kind of even killed it, kind of, okay, well, this is whatever. And the guy, he's Jamaican, so the energy.
Oh, yeah.
So he's Jamaican, so the energy. So I have to relate certain messages, and I'm like, but and I'm that person in the middle because I'm not. I mean, at the end of the day, that person you work with,
like, no matter what his views is, I bet you he's a nice guy.
Yeah, he's nice, and anytime I need help, he helps. He calls me when he needs advice about stuff. We talk about pretty much everything.
We're not so simple.
Mhm.
We are layered.
Yeah, we layered. Exactly.
So it's not just as simple as that person's a Trump supporter, if that person's pro-white. I honestly don't have a problem with people who are pro-white. I'm pro-black.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm also pro-people.
Yeah, I'm pro. I believe
I'm
in my
pro-women.
own people.
You know what I mean?
You know.
But I'm also pro-black.
Yeah.
I'm pro-white.
Yeah, in its own.
I'm
its
not
own
trying
space.
to say
Its
white
own
people
space.
are the best thing in the whole wide world, but I want y'all to succeed. I want us to succeed. I
At
want
the
women
same time.
to succeed.
At the same time.
I don't even have to put them all together. That's other people and they shit. I'm just saying, I want these people to succeed. I want you to succeed. I want me to succeed. I want him to succeed. But I don't believe that he has to do it at my expense.
Yeah.
I have to do it at your expense. That's the difference.
Yeah.
So I can sit there and say, I have no problem with people who are pro-white. I have no problem with people who
put their race first because you're supposed to.
I have a problem with people. I don't even have a problem with people who are racist, provided that you're not using that racism to harm those people you're racist against. That's the thing. Because I have racist tendencies, and I don't know it until I say it. I'm like, ooh.
It's in you, and people don't understand that. It's
some old black man told me this a long time ago, but it sat in my head, and I'm like, oh, I didn't know I was gonna say that.
Yeah,
like there was a saying I used to say in college, and I'm wrong. So when I do my political career, and y'all come and use this footage,
if y'all want the footage, you just hit me up.
You can buy it.
Just hit me up.
I'm
gonna sell it. Yeah, I'm gonna sell it.
Make sure you sell it.
Just like Clubhouse tickets, I'm gonna be selling these too.
I was wrong, but this is an old black man statement. No matter what this old black man said when we worked at that Stanley, wherever it happened, it was told the story. I told you about them white people. That's the only thing he ever said.
Yeah.
And it sat in my head. So when I was in college, is my friend who used to love hanging out with white people, right? She never felt comfortable being around black people. She just liked, we were friends. I loved her. And she would tell me stuff. I would say it. I just keep repeating.
Told you about the white people. Told you about the white people.
And I was wrong. Like, first off, that just diminishes her experience.
Yeah.
And what she was trying to tell me. I just made it as simple as if you stop hanging out with white people, you won't have problems.
You won't have problems. Yeah, that's the reason you have problems.
I was so wrong.
White people.
And I felt bad about that because I wasn't even an effective friend to her. I felt bad about that. But
it's where you was at, and you grown from that. So
also, we need to be careful about what we repeat.
That's true too.
Yeah. That's the moral of the story. Because I was a kid when that happened, so it was just like it's like, have you had your break today? It's like a jingle. It became a jingle in my head. I said it with the same cadence that he said it.
We as black folks, we do that a lot though. We do that a lot. We do. So
I remember those days. Anyway, that's all I have. I'm glad nobody cussed me out. I thought I was gonna get cussed out.
Not yet. Just waiting your DMs. It's coming in DMs.
Oh no.
You still got the DMs.
Slide in my DM.
Slide in the DM.
I don't know how that sounds.
To her.
It doesn't matter. I still love y'all. Tell me I'm wrong. You know, every time I post something about it, something like that, people say stuff, but nobody ever says you were
wrong.
Nobody ever says I'm wrong. No. They'll change the narrative of the words I'm trying to say.
They'll move the goalposts.
Yeah.
Yes, they do.
Yeah. I'm not saying that. I'm not saying any of the things that feel good, that make us feel good are bad, but in moderation. That's what I'm saying. It feels good to ride a car that sits high and everybody look at you like, oh man, you got it like that. That feels good. But do you have it like that?
It don't help out in the end. It don't help out in the end.
Yeah.
When everything's said and done and you're old and lose your phone like my father and don't have my number. Anyway, so
that's all I have.
Yeah. So
thank y'all for joining us.
What
do you have an intro?
I got you. I got you.
Thank y'all for joining us. We appreciate it. He got us on something.
Peace.
We'll see y'all next week.
All right.